What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money event week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for April 14th through April 20th, 2022. The current prize ride for this week is the Turismo Classic. So this car is primarily based on the Ferrari F40. It is a normal price of about $700,000, so it's usually not a crazy expensive car. But anyways, to get this car for free, you have to place top 1, meaning first place in 7 Street Race Series races. So thankfully, no days in a row requirement for this one, but first place does make it a bit more difficult. So if you're not the best racer, you might want to go the route of doing it with a friend and letting each other win. Now in terms of performance, this car is one of the top performing cars for racing in the Sports Classics class. And for those of you on next gen, with the HSW upgrade applied to this car on top of that, literally nothing can even touch it in that class. So again, regardless of what platform you're on, definitely try to win this one this week. Now in terms of the test ride vehicle for this week, we have the RT3000, the Deity, and the Granger 3600 LX. And for next gen console players, we have the Divest 8 as the HSW test ride car for this week. Now in terms of the casino podium vehicle, we have the Obey Tailgater S. This car is primarily based on the Audi RS3. It is a normal price of about $1.5 million and a trade price of about $1.1 million. Now in terms of performance, this car is in the sedans class and is in 3rd place for lap time for most tracks. However, the Shafter V12 is a bit quicker overall and it's only about $100,000, so definitely something to keep in mind. But regardless, I think this car's normal price in general is a bit overpriced for what it is, so getting it off the podium for free is pretty nice. So starting off with the property discounts, we have 30% off the special vehicle warehouses and 30% off the CEO crate warehouses as well. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 50% off the Torero, which is a fantastic price for this car. Now this one is in the Sports Classics class and is actually in top 10 for most tracks, which is very impressive. Obviously not including the HSW vehicles in this. However, it's still a weight off the pace of the top Sports Classics cars in general. Overall, I think it's a really nice car to own with great customization and detail as well. Next up, we have 40% off the ETR1, one of the best handling cars in the supercar class, but it just lacks in terms of straight line speed. And the customization is pretty lackluster as well. Plus the wheel fitment I've always found is a little strange on this car. Moving on to the 7 San Andreas website, we have 40% off the Sultan RS Classic, one of the top performing cars for tuner races. For those of you who don't own this car or the Calico yet, make sure to pick it up this week. It's a great investment to help you complete those prize ride challenges each week a bit easier. Moving on to the Warstock website, we have 40% off the Night Shark, one of my favorite armored vehicles in game because of the fact that it has great acceleration, armor resistance, plus its map icon is a normal car, which is great to catch other players off guard. For those of you who don't own the Night Shark yet, I definitely recommend it, especially at this price. Next up, we have 40% off the Weaponized Tampa. So this car is pretty decent and is pretty good with the weapon upgrades that it offers, but remember that you actually have to unlock all those weapon upgrades with the bunker research, so keep that in mind. Plus this car has no armor at all. Moving along, we have 40% off the Technical Aqua. So if you're a Top Gear fan, this might be something you'd be interested in, but overall I think it's a pretty useless vehicle. And lastly, we have 30% off the Rocket Voltic. A very fun car for sure, but the Scramjet and the Toreador are just a lot better vehicles. Plus you need to own a special vehicle warehouse in order to own the Technical Aqua and this car anyways. In terms of clothing unlocks, you can get this Black Hawk t-shirt for free just for logging in this week, which is pretty cool. In terms of triple money, we have triple money NRP on the adversary mode Extraction, which is a pretty fun adversary mode to do. In terms of double money, we have double money NRP on special vehicle work. And lastly, there's 50% off the resupply costs for the bunker and biker businesses, which is pretty nice, but honestly kind of random. And we also have 2x speed on bunker research as well. Moving on to the Prime Gaming discounts for Prime Gaming members only. So again, same as the last few months, we sadly don't have any Prime Gaming discounts currently in game. The only thing we have is the usual free $100,000 for logging in during the event week period. And lastly, this week's RC Bandito time trial is Power Station. This week's normal time trial is Maze Bank Arena. I highly recommend a vehicle with a high top speed such as the Pariah or one of the HSW vehicles if you're on next gen. In terms of the premium race for this week, we have the Sports Classics Race 8-figure bonus. I highly recommend either the Turismo Classic, Cheetah Classic, Retinue Mark II, or the Rapid GC Classic for this race. And if you're on next gen, I highly recommend the HSW Turismo Classic for this race. Literally nothing even comes close to it in terms of performance. And lastly, for next gen console users, the HSW time trial for this week is RON Alternates. And as always, the HSW Hakuchu Drag will be the best one for these. Every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Sultan RS Classic. As I stated earlier, it's one of the best cars for tuner races, which can help you complete those prize ride challenges every week. And at this price, I think it's very well worth it if you don't own one already. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, I think this event week is pretty decent in terms of vehicle discounts, but in terms of the double and triple money, it's a bit lackluster, not really that great. Hopefully next week is better. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.